What is up, everyone? This is Hannibal of Carthage, and this is a 3 versus 3 on Rome Total War. So, I played as the Greek city-states in this battle here. Um, so one thing you have to know before this battle gets started is that the battle never finishes. It was close to being done, and the host left the game, so the battle just ends. But it is very clear as to who's going to win. So that's the reason why I'm still going to show you this replay, because it was a really fun game, and it is obvious who is going to win, even though unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you any of the statistics of how many kills or any of that, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm still going to go with it just because it was a good battle. So, like I said, I was playing as the Greek city-states, and my army setup included 6 Spartans as my main infantry line. Right now I have them hidden. They're out of formation, so I can hide them. And then on either side, either flank, I have 2 units of armored hoplites for a total of 4. And then behind my infantry, I brought 4 units of Cretan archers, also hidden. And then behind them, I brought 5 Greek cav and 1 general's armored bodyguard. So for the Greek city-states, bringing 5 Greek cavalry is not the best. Greek's strength is in its phalanx and not in its cavalry. The most I would bring for Greece is 3 Greek cavalry. Otherwise, if you want to bring cav, bring a whole bunch of these guys, because at least that's heavy cav, even if you don't have as many. What Greek cav is good for is running down archers, coming back from being broken. They're amazing at that, and just kind of outrunning enemy cav to, hit weak spots in an enemy's formation. So, but I wouldn't suggest bringing more than 3. You can if you want, but that's just kind of my suggestion there. So my allies' armies, I'm going to show you them first before I show you my opponents. So this is the Roman player. He's playing as the SPQR, or the Senate, and he got almost no kills this battle. I know that I'm not able to find out exactly how many kills he got, but just watching the replay, it's obvious enough that he doesn't get very many kills. He's basically useless. He ends up being basically 2 versus 3 because of that. But he brought, let's see here, he brought 12 urban cohorts and 8 archers, which broke the rules of the match actually, because the rules were CWB, which means you're only supposed to have 6 of any specific unit, and he broke that, bringing 12 urbans and 8 archers. But so I guess it ended up being a good thing. He didn't really do much. But this is the other thing that was kind of weird about him. I'd never seen a Roman player do this. I'd never seen a Roman player create a new box before. I mean, you'll see that a lot with you'll see that every once in a while, I guess, with phalanx formation. It's like with, especially people playing as the Greeks, you'll see noob squares, but not as the Romans. And so I was really kind of surprised to see this. And the only kills this guy gets is with his archers, and you'll see that in a moment. And then my other ally, Macedon, he's set up to run his troops over to Rome, just so he can even have the support of him, even if Rome's not going to do much. So Macedon, he brought 6 royal pikemen and 6 phalanx pikemen. So he was really upset that Rome broke the rules, and actually one of the enemy players also broke the rules. But so he was really upset about that, and he was letting his opinion be known. So that kind of tied us up in chat for a while. But anyways, the battle was fun, even if some of the conversation wasn't. Let's see here. In front of his infantry, he brought, I believe, 4 of these Cretan archers. So he brought the same amount of archers as I did. and then in the back here he has 4 companion cavalry. So opposite us, I'm going to start with Armenia here. For our opponents, we have Armenia, who brought, let's see here, his main infantry line is 6 of these Armenian legionaries. So, I mean, they're basically copies of Roman early legionaries, and so they're not going to be as great, but I mean, they're still decent units. And then behind them, on either flank here, he has 1 unit of Eastern infantry. I actually think they're really cool. They make me think of like what Persian units or Persian men might have looked like, because according to history, if you hear of like how the Persians fought, you'll hear of like wicker shields, and cloth for armor, just because they fought in the desert, which was really hot, and so they wouldn't have had much more than this because they didn't need it. Which is why they had such a hard time fighting the Greeks, because the Greeks, used bronze armor and heavy armor where the Persian weapons just couldn't pierce. But anyways, like I said, he has 2 units of those on either side. Behind them, he has 1 armored Eastern general, where his general is, and then 2 units of archers. And then he has a lot of cav. The Armenian player does, and he has here, I believe, 4 cataphract archers up in front, and then over to the right on his left flank, but my right according to the screen, he's only showing 4 cataphracts, but he actually has a 5th one hidden in this little forest here. I don't think he meant to do that, it just kind of happened that way. And then Pontus, he didn't bring a full stack for his army, but he heavily upgraded all of his units. He also split his army. It's kind of interesting how he did it. But what is shown is 2 Pontic Light Cav, 2 Cappadocian Cav, which are just as strong as cataphracts. It just basically have a different name and a different look to them. And then 1 Pontic Heavy Cav. But what is not seen is another Pontic Heavy Cav somewhere over here for a total of 2. And let's see. I'm trying to remember. He has something else hidden here too. Actually, I think that might be it. Yeah, he might only have his other Pontic Heavy Cav hidden here. But I believe that sounds right. And then the other half of his army is over here. So he has 4 bronze shields that you can see, and his general is in these chariot archers here, right there. And what you don't see is he has 4 units of archers here, and another scythe chariot next to his chariot archers. And they'll be seen later on in the battle. And the Seleucid player, he brought 11 of these silver shield pikemen, and right now, behind them you see 1 unit of archers, but he also has 2 other units of archers hidden along here. And then over here, he has 6 cataphracts. So, I'm kind of facing a heavy, like, cavalry. I mean, I know I have the power is to my side when it comes to the infantry, but they definitely have the cavalry advantage. Even though I'm heavily outnumbered when it comes to infantry, my infantry are better man for man, so I know I have the advantage there. I'm a little worried about these chariots, but not too much. And so it ends up kind of being like, basically ends up being Armenia plus Pontus's cavalry against Macedon and Rome, and while I face down the Seleucid army and the Pontic infantry on my side. So it ended up being kind of an interesting battle. Sorry if that got a little confusing there. I'm still not quite used to this. I'm getting better at it, but so if you just kind of have mercy on me while I try to put my thoughts into words. Anyways, I'm gonna let the battle get started here. most of the action kind of starts on my ally side, so I'm gonna shift over here, and I'm actually gonna fast forward for just a moment, just because not much happens in the opening bit of the battle. Excuse me. So Pontus has moved forward a little bit, and the Seleucid player is starting to move forward at me while I'm also advancing on him. And then over here, Armenia and Pontus are trying to move up on Macedon's flank. He's facing them with his infantry and kind of like protecting Rome with his cav. And so the Roman player just sits there the whole time. He was kind of useless. But Macedon is now shifting to try to face the combined force over there a little easier. Meantime, my archers have opened fire on this side, as well as his, but his are in flaming mode, so he's brought up his cataphracts here. Very dangerous units. Still haven't quite figured out how to beat cataphracts well, besides trapping them with your own cav and then trying to send in spear units. But that's kind of difficult to do, actually. So I'm definitely kind of winning this skirmish fight here. And I also have some of my archers focusing on, or I'm going to have some of my archers focus on this unit. In any case, Pontus has moved up his chariots and chariot archers over here. He is now bringing up his archers and infantry. So my infantry is better than both Pontus and the Seleucid infantry, but I have 20 less men in each of my units than he does. So I'm trying to whittle down some of his troops a little, as well as get rid of their archers. I did manage, he had his cataphracts hidden, but I had managed to target them with my archers just before they went out of focus. So I was able to pelt a whole bunch of them, and I killed a whole bunch of them before he ran them away, that was kind of fun. So Pontus, he decided to he knew that bronze shields are not very good infantry, and so he went for heavy upgrades compared to bringing a full army. But even that's not going to save him, especially because he divided his army. If he hadn't, he might have saved him a little more. So now over here, Armenia and Macedon have engaged, and Rome is just sitting there letting his archers get some kills rather than helping out his ally with actual troops. Macedon is fighting Armenia's cataphracts with his own companion cav and some Fang Spikeman, which is smart. That's how, really the only way I've figured out how to beat cataphracts is to bring in spear units. And then over here, Pontus has brought in his own cavalry, which is not smart to attack, pikes from the front, but the odds are helping between Armenia's infantry and Pontus's cav. So Macedon has been able to drive off Armenia's cataphracts at this point, but they still have a presence. I've engaged over here. I let 1 unit Spartans and 2 units of armored hoplites engage over here, and these guys are already down. It's like 15 men. I'm only down 3, even with the armored hoplite. Spartans are doing even better. And then over here, I sent all the rest of my Spartans, so that'd be 5 units of Spartans and my 2 other Greek armored hoplites. to try to engage this flank while these guys engage this one. These Spartans got trapped, unfortunately, and so that's why they're running. I have my archers still trying to shoot at these guys. My cav, I have these guys kind of whittling down these archers. My cav got destroyed over here. They got...
The gods be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
They got caught by his cataphracts over here, so... A few of them are still running around. They came back from routing. In the meantime, the Macedonian player has managed to rout the Armenian player, and Armenia admitted defeat, and so all of his troops are running. And so he's out of the game, which means that they can now, at least in theory, assist me. Pontus is still active over here, and he's going to harass these guys the whole rest of the game, but he can't really do much about it. And the Seleucid player has his cataphracts all over here chasing down, really uselessly, what's left of this Greek cav. So they're going to be not even a threat to me over here. So I am slowly just destroying Pontus' infantry. And even over here, see here, I have these armored hoplites are going up against like 3 or 4 units here. I have 3 units of Spartans going up against this guy here, so they're going to go into the flank. And this unit...
General flees! Press forward so that the spirit of his army is broken too!
This unit of Spartans here, I had sent all the way up and around to their flank, and they destroyed this unit of Spartans, or this unit of Silver Shields here, and I have them now moving up on this flank. I'm not totally sure what happens, but I think he just ends up sending so many units up against these Spartans that they eventually do get whittled down to the point where they get destroyed, but they take like 2 or 3 units of Silver Shields with them, so the Spartans are very cost effective.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the attack.
They're very cost effective, especially when they're heavily upgraded. So I've destroyed this flank with that had the Pontic's troops, and I'm rushing these guys over to join the fight. And I'm chasing after these guys, his archers, with my own. They're out of ammo. So like a major archer battle going on here, but I broke them. They're just gonna chase after them. And now, I mean, the Seleucid player is slowly getting destroyed. And see, like, now these guys are down to 10. I think the other reason why I think they get destroyed is, even if it's just a little bit of slope, but I am fighting uphill, even if it's just slightly, so. But my Spartans are going to get taken out, but they took like 3 units with them, which was great. He's running these archers up, and that's going to finish this unit of Spartans off, because they're going to come up from behind them. These guys never break. They fight to the end. And there's just 2 of them now. This is all that's kind of left of the Seleucids. In Rome, at this point, he actually comes out of his box now that pretty much everything's safe, and he is rushing his troops to my defense over here. And that's where the host quits. That's where he stops and just exits the game, which was stupid, but I believe he was probably the Seleucid player. I don't remember though. So this is what I have left of my troops, plus the archers I have chasing down running troops or fleeing troops of Pontus, and I still have plenty of hoplites, armored Greek, mostly actually armored hoplites. Most of my Spartans took quite a beating, but they just destroyed the Seleucids. So all the Seleucid player has left is these guys, and then what's little left of that last unit they were fighting. And Pontus has these archers, and over here he still has some Cappadocian cav that are harrying Macedon, as well as some Pontic heavy cavalry and some light cav. So he's just kind of trying to get some kills here he did charge in with his uh, Eastern General here, and he's fighting with these companion cav, and so he's rushing in this Pontic heavy cav at the moment that the host left the game. Rome did leave his archers there. They're still firing away. But like I said, he's rushing his troops over to help me, supposedly. I believe I pointed out that I still have these archers over here. And then the Seleucid player, somewhere around here. It's kind of a mess of all these trees. But, he did have his cataphracts running around somewhere. There they are. He still has pretty much all of his cataphracts, besides the one I was able to, the few I was able to kill between my Greek cav and my archers. But anyways, I hope you liked the battle. Like I said, it was disappointing that the host left, and which just terminated the game. It ended up being a really good battle. I was really proud of myself for basically taking out 2 armies just by myself. And good game to everyone who played it. And I'll see you guys later.